Hey guys, welcome to our channel Knowledge King, and today we are going to start a fresh episode with arrays. This is one of the most important concepts that we have in UI industry. Okay, so if you consider IT, you choose any technology, Java, JavaScript, Angular, React, Ember, okay, Backbone or Python, even in any technology that you choose, even if you go with basic C, you're gonna get this concept in it. Okay, so let's deep dive into what array is. Okay, so what's an array? And related concepts are basically objects. We have already discussed that everything in JavaScript is an object. Okay, and we are gonna see what is a collection of objects into an array. So that is an array of objects. So let's start with our first topic, that is an array. Let's take a simple example. Okay, there are four different type of apples that you can see on the screen. Okay, the first one is black diamond, the second one is Macon apple, the third one is ambrosia, and the fourth one is opal. Okay, so these are four different apples that you can see. So let's think it in such a way that you have to declare a name for each of this apple. Okay, so you have to declare a new variable for each of this apple. So what we do, where fruit1 equal to your black diamond apple, where fruit2 equal to your Macon apple, where fruit3 equal to ambrosia apple, and where fruit4 equal to your opal apple. Okay, so we declared four different variables. If you know that there are around 7,500 different types of apples, okay, in the world. So if I ask you to store all these apple names into variables, there would be 7,500 different variables that you're gonna store. If I asked you to change the name of Macon apple to something else, you have to go through all the 7,500 variable names. Okay, so that is going to be a huge and difficult task to maintain. So when this concept came, where you have to like store some different kind of variables or some multiple variables, but you can just generalize it. Okay, so I can say like I don't want these to be different variables. I just want them to call as fruits or apples. Okay, so I can declare where apples equal to the whole collection of 7,500 apples, name of the apples. Okay, so that is going to save a lot of your memory. It is going to help you maintain the code in a cleaner way. Okay, so that's the reason people usually tend to declare array. You don't need to declare too many variables. Instead of that, what you can do is you can just declare an array and your issue would be resolved. Let's see how to declare these arrays. But before that, let's come to a single definition of what is an array. Now, array is a collection of heterogeneous data types. So what is the meaning of heterogeneous? Heterogeneous means different kinds of data types. What I can do is, so if you see the example, okay, here my array equal to, so now array is usually written into square brackets. If you see any technology, usually most of the technologies declare the arrays in square brackets only. So whenever you see a square bracket, irrespective of technology, JavaScript, usually square bracket means arrays. So even I have in the title, you can see I have denoted it as arrays and square brackets. So now we are gonna see meanings of data types with brackets and all. So square bracket, that is an array. Then where, again coming back to our example, where array, my array to square brackets, the first is apple, the second fruit is mango. So the first variable that I'm storing is a string, comma. The second variable that I'm storing is another string, that is your mango. The third one is a number, the fourth one is a boolean, and the fifth one is other. That's why it is called as collection of heterogeneous data types. Most of the technologies might support heterogeneous collection of heterogeneous data types, but some of the technologies might not support this. But as I told you before, JavaScript is quite flexible and it can just understand that you want to keep multiple different types of variables into one single variable. Okay, so array is very smart. So it can dynamically understand that you want to keep multiple types of data into one single variable. Let's quickly declare this array and see it programmatically. simple plain HTML with nothing in it. I just added a script array.js and my array.js is blank. So let's start writing our first again another program of array. I can declare it using a var my array equal to, let's take the same examples, apples, comma mango, comma 10, comma true, comma 3.14. I'll save it quickly and let me print this. Let's quickly refresh it. So now if you can see that the length of this array is 5, okay, and there are 5 different values that I'm storing it in my array. But if you clearly see this, there are something over here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what is this? So array has an index. So whenever you declare an array, it usually starts with the index of 0. Okay, so array will never start from the position 1. You have an index of 0. That means if I want to get this value of an array, okay, the simplest thing that I can do is I can say array and give me the position of 0th value, that would be my apple. Okay, on position 0 I have my apple, on position 1 I have mango, position 2 I have 10, position 3 I have true, and position 4 I have 3.14. Initially remembering these indexes might be a bit difficult, but as you go along, okay, you get into a habit of remaining everything using the index. You never remember it using values, you remember it using indexes. Okay, whenever I say that I want to take the first position from that array, you should immediately remember that you have to take the 0th position or 0th index of that array. So array of 0th position will always give its first value. So let's go into our first example. So let's say that I want to print the first value from that array. What I can do is I can quickly say how I can get the first value. My array of, again in the square bracket, the index 0. This is your 0th position. This is your first position, this is your second position, third position, and the fourth position. So whenever I am trying to say that I want the 0th position of this array, so that means it is going to return me the value of it. That is your apples. Okay, so let's see and print this. You can basically take this into a variable where first value equal to, and you can just print it console.log first value. Let me remove this. Okay, so let me quickly save this and refresh it. So it is going to give me apples, which was the first position, okay, which was the first value of my array, but it has an index of 0. So you should always remember it that array starts with 0 and 0 to the end value, the total would be its length. Okay, the number of values it is storing would be its length. Let's start with the other values. So if I want to take the value of 10, so if I just want to print the value 10, how I can print it? So 0th position, first position, and second position. So it would be array of 2. So whenever I say my array in the square bracket 2, that will return me the actual value of that position, that index. Okay, so array of 2 would be, it will just give me the value 10. Let's see, refresh, and yes, see, that's just throwing me 10. That's easy for now. Let's see, so how many total values are there? 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So there are total 5 values starting from 0, considering 0 to 4 is 5 values. So let's see what it will do if I just try to print my array of 10. Do we have my array of 10? Do you think there are 11 values that that my array has? No. So usually what it will return, what do you think it should return? Is it going to throw me an error because my array is only considering 5 values? No. JavaScript is too smart. Okay, so it will handle most of your errors automatically until and unless it is breaking something. So here it will not throw an error. Instead it will say that whatever you are trying to get is still not defined. It is undefined. See how flexible or how smart it is. So now, as we are talking about array, instead of doing this, I can even directly, instead of storing the value in a variable, what I can do is I can directly even print something from my array. Let's say that I want to print something which is on the 4th position, okay, on 3rd index, but the actual position is 4. So that will return true. Let's see. So 1, 2 and 3. So my array of 3 is your with array. Okay, there are number of properties and number of functions that you get. Okay, so these basically the properties and functions are inbuilt with your JavaScript. So let's see some of these properties and some of these functions as well. So before starting that, okay, before going to functions and properties, let's see some different type of ways you can declare an array into JavaScript. So this is the first and the most simplest way you can declare a array. The second way to do that is where, again, okay, let's say that I just name it something different. You can even say something like this, okay, using inbuilt classes. So even functions, JavaScript have some classes and all that. What are classes? We'll come back to it later, but for now, this is the second way you can declare an array. So the first one was where arr equal to empty bracket, and the second one is where arr1 equal to, using the keyword new, so new is a keyword, space array in A in capitals, okay, the first character of this array is capital, and round brackets. So this will also declare a new array. Both are very good, okay, but usually we use the first type. Now if I want to put some values dynamically into this array, okay, we use some functions and properties. Even you can do this dynamically. Let's say that on 0th position I can store apple. Let's go with the same simple example, okay, and then I try to print this array. I can directly in console. So even this JavaScript console is much smarter. If you just directly give the name of that array, it will try to print it out. See, I'm dynamically storing now values into the array, right? So what I'll do, I will store something on the 3rd position, okay, on the 2nd index. What I'll do, I'll store mango. What do you think the output of this program would be? What I'm doing now, I have 3 values, okay. What I'm trying to say is I am putting 3 values into my array, but on 0th position it's apple, on 2nd position I'm not trying to save anything, but on the 3rd position I have saved mango. So what do you think the middle value would be? When you don't declare anything, when you have not declared anything, so in an array, that's usually an empty, that's nothing. Your array would automatically start thinking that there is nothing, and if you try to print that, let's say if I try to print the 1st position, my output would be as usual. You have not defined it, so you are going to get an undefined value. Simple. Let's come back to our functions, okay, some functions that we get internally inbuilt. So those are arr. So my array, these are all the functions that you can get with an array. Can you see? There are so many inbuilt functions that you are getting directly, dynamically with an array. You don't need to even think that can I use this or can I use this not, okay? To make some simple functions, Okay, I'll start with push. So see, if you see push, it is saying you can push new elements or you can add new elements to your array. Okay, I'll say 10 and I'll start consoling these values. Console.log arr, that will just print my array. See, you have pushed a new value into your array and all the values that you push would start from the end. If I try to push another value, so your first value would be 10, your second value would be 20. And what would be the length of it? So we also get another property with an array, that is length. For now, you only have one property or one attribute, that is your length. So in this way, you can, let's try to print some string with it so that we can say what value we are getting. Length of array. So let me refresh it. See, length of array is 2. Let me push some other values. I'll not put it in sequence. I'll just say array.push 50. See, 10, 20 and third value is 50. So it is pushing all the values in sequence. Whatever you push, that will always be pushed at the end. Now let's go with some other function. Let me remove this push. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Let's take another example. So I have 5 different values. I have 5 different values into my array. So that is 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So the length of array is 5. What I want to do is I want to remove the last value from this or the last element from this array. The simplest way I can do is array.pop. Refresh. See, the last value. So initially I had 50. My program always starts from top to bottom. So my first line, my array is 50, but let me print it over here as well. Okay, so what I'm doing, my program is coming in the sequence. Initially it had like 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50 when I printed it at the beginning. On next line, what I'm doing, array.pop. So that means what I'm trying to do is I'll just say remove the last value from the array. You don't need to store it back again. So it will just quickly remove the last array element, and it will do is I'm just printing it again. So the value is 10, 20, 30 and 40. So it's that simple to push and pop. So you have to remember these functions. So push and pop usually works at the end of the array. So push and pop usually works at the last value of the array. We also have something which starts from the beginning of the array. So to beginning we have like shift and unshift. So let's see what shift and unshift does. So what unshifted does is, see, elements to insert at the start of the array. So the similar to unshift usually works in line with your push. So push will push at the end of the array, unshift will push at the beginning of the array. So what I'm trying to do is, let's say that before 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, I just want to push 100. So my new array would be 100. After that it would start from 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Just quickly refresh. See, the unshift usually starts from the beginning. So it will push, or it will basically unshift all the arrays, okay, at the beginning of your array, and it will just shift all the arrays to the later indexes. So initially when 10 was at the index 0, it moved all the values to the next index and pushed the element at the beginning of your array. See, unshift. Next we have, so let me comment this out. Well, let's quickly go through shift. So shift usually works similar to your pop, but as I said that pop removes from the end, shift will remove from the beginning. Now I commented this. So my original array is 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So when I say array.shift, it will basically remove this 10 and it will start from, the 20 would start from 0 and so on. So let me quickly refresh it. So see, now if you open it, on the 0th position, my 20 is there. Okay, on the first position we have 30, on the second position we have 40 and the last position we have like 50. So the length even decreased by 1 because we have shifted. So it will just remove it once. Pop will remove it once, shift it will remove it once. So these are like, we saw 5 different things. Okay, 4 functions and 1 property. First one was push, to push at the end of the array. Pop, to remove from the end of the array. Unshift, to insert at the beginning of the array. Shift, to remove from the beginning of the array. And last but not the least was length, to calculate the complete elements or to count the number of elements that we have in our array. So it's that easy to store any value into your array. I hope this video was interesting and useful for you, and please do like, subscribe and comment to our channel, and to watch more videos on JavaScript, click on the playlist above. Thank you, take care.